Every so often, as we journey throughout life, we encounter a sign that says, "Rough road ahead." If we choose to ignore that sign, we might have a disastrous experience. There are lots of warning signs around us that are designated to protect us. Whether we choose to obey them or not depends on how much we value the virtue of obedience. This episode of Gaining Virtue will explain how we can increase the amount of obedience in our lives so that we can avoid danger and reach our destination quickly and safely. Join me, shall you? You are law-abiding and try to always do the right thing. You understand the importance of moral teachings in your life and the need to follow the rules and regulations that govern your community. You are respectful of leaders, officials, and other authority figures and carefully follow their instructions. If we want to acquire more obedience, then we first need to find reasons to obey laws. We'll take a quick look at what happens when you choose to obey laws and others don't, or when you disobey and others obey, or when everyone disobeys laws. We also need to figure out if a law is just or not and what we should do about that. Next, we'll learn why it is important to follow legitimate leaders. In each of the groups to which you belong, there is a leader, and we must decide if they are legitimate or not and if we want to follow them or not. Sometimes you belong to groups without any say in the matter. What do you do then? We'll explore these situations. Next, we will start to prioritize your obedience. What happens when one group to which you belong asks you to do something against the rules of another group to which you belong? Which authority will you obey? Whose laws are supreme? Next, we'll try to develop good follower skills. As followers, we all have strengths as well as weaknesses. Some things are hard for us to do, but how do we overcome those weaknesses? What does a good follower look like? What skills can we acquire despite our personal preferences? Fifth, we will identify your obstacles to obedience. Each of us has a collection of obstacles that prevent us from being as obedient as we could be. We'll review a number of these and also take some time to figure out if we are too obedient. Finally, we will learn to recognize the dangers of obedience. Obedience comes with a price that is often paid for with trust and submission. At worst, we may pay for it with our lives or the lives of others, as we've seen throughout the past century. Please join me as we figure out when, why, and where obedience would be a good thing in our lives, and how to make sure we don't take it to an extreme.